Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Professor Rohan Gunar, the session chair. I'm privileged to present my paper, the session where Professor Rohan Gunaratne, a well-known research on international terrorism, going to chair. Okay. Now, first of all, I would like to thank General Melinda Pigris, the Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kodalawala University, and also the BOM for giving full cooperation to conduct this study. At the same time, I also would like to say our gratitude to SF commanders in the north and also the civil affairs team in all districts and also GAs of all districts and the communities in the northern region for giving all information for us to conduct this study successfully. At the outset, I must tell you that this study is an ongoing research, and today's presentation is the outcome of our initial investigation. The presentation will follow on as shown on the screen. And the background, of course, I hope the study is very clear if you have listened to the plenary speakers of the defense session. Accordingly, military is one of the main apparatus of the legitimate state. If there is no threat on national interest, sovereignty, and the integrity of democratic state, the civil-military relationship is normal, and the intervention by the military in the civilian matters limited. Perhaps it is confined to the ceremonial functions as mentioned by General Jayawa Ratnayaka in his presentation yesterday. At the same time, when there is a threat on national interest, sovereignty, and integrity of the state, the military's role becomes crucial, and therefore the significance of the military is inevitable. With this background, I would like to introduce the problem of this research. On one hand, some say that there is no need of military presence in the north. They also say that military should be reduced its scrutiny on civilian life. On contrary, it has also been argued that the secessionist thinking of the society has not yet been neutralized, therefore there is no guarantee of sustainable peace. They say that military presence cannot be substantially reduced. So there is a problem to be studied. Having said that, I would like to talk about our research methodology. Our research is based on exploratory research design. We explored the concepts of the social transformation and the empirical information of the post-war era in the north of Sri Lanka. With respect to empirical information, we have made an initial investigation with respect to the civilian population, civil administrative mechanisms, military and its civil affairs mechanisms. Here are some of the pictures that we have taken during our investigation. It will be a quick show because of the time constraint. So we have visited a number of places and investigated with the communities. This is the Harmony Center in Kilinochchi. After exploring the concept, we have found that components of the society or an economy comprised of mainly national defense or military of the state coming under government, then non-defense civilian sector of the state coming under again government, then the private sector. Now the civilian-military relationship here, it is focused on the three scenarios. One is the scenario under threatening condition, the second is the scenario during the period of transition, and the third is the scenario under normalcy. First we will look at the conceptualization of social transformation. In the screen on my left side, we have mentioned different episodes of social transformation. I have shown them as T-1, T-2, and so on. On the other hand, there are similar number of possible episodes of social transformation on my right side of the screen. They are identified as T+1, T+2, and so on. the Sri Lankan context with special reference to North and East issue specifically, we can say that the period of war can be explained by social transformation under scenario T-1. Now, I would like to go in detail, then come to the scenario under conflicting condition is detailed in this slide. In the center of the diagram, components of economy is depicted. You will observe there on the first component of the economy is the defense and then non-defense and thereafter the private sector. All these components are comprised with the conflict cycle, and this conflict cycle affected by the factors coming surrounding of these components and the cycle. These factors are going to engineered and re-engineered by the epistemological related forces, then the ethnology related forces and ontology related factors. Therefore, either the conflict can continue or conflict can transform into a normal situation. Now, I would like to show this, the other slide that shows the normalcy cycle, where if it is possible for us to undo all distorted situation and also the wrong decision that you have made, if we can undo all these things, we can transform the previous conflicting cycle into a normal cycle where we can change all value systems and have social agreement that can be transformed into maybe law or the legal changes and so on. But at the same time, we have to remember that all these factors are again going to be affected by the epistemology related forces, ontology related forces, ethnology related forces, and therefore these things need to be engineered and re-engineered towards the value changes and finally for the new social agreement. And if that is successful, the transformation going to be smooth and the civil-military relationship is also going to be smooth. With that, I would like to present our empirical information. Here, the military's contribution to the North has been enormous. Some of the contributions are shown on the screen. I don't have time to go in detail, but resettlement of 0.4 million people and rehabilitation of ex-combatants of 11,000 and so on and so forth. Of course, if we go to the North, you will observe all these contributions. And at the same time, I would also like to say about the civilian society in the North. The civilian society in the North are different groups, and I have identified all these groups as shown on the screen. Now, again, in all groups, we observe common observation. These are some of the common observations that we observe. With that, I would like to go for each and every group in the civilian community. If we take ordinary people, in the ordinary people group, we find all these views that they are obsessed to have. And the politically motivated people, they also have specific views. Then the educated youth and the academia. Likewise, it go ahead, religious leaders, employees of government, civil administration, then NGOs, moderated diaspora, then the pro-LTT diaspora. I have taken into two groups, but there are more groups as mentioned by the previous speakers. The prevailing condition is like this. So the separatism is still active as we observe. Resettlement is not yet fully completed. The civilian sector cannot handle the development in the North. Likewise, we observe some are related to the military, and again, if we take the impact of secessionist thinking that can influence the other communities is very important, because if we allow to have some kind of a secessionist thinking, that can be influence on the other areas, other communities, which create lot of problems as we discussed during the plenary session yesterday. Now, I have taken the conceptualization of my model, firstly identifying philosophy of the nation, then need to transform into Sri Lankan identity, then the reliability, confidence, harmony, and so on. So these things also going to be affected by various factors, and we need to address all these when engineering and re-engineering the things for the normal situation as we have shown here. So this is the final thing that we have to focus on. If we can focus on this, we will be able to undo the present distorted condition to the normal condition, and therefore I hope in the next stage we are going to go in detail of this conceptualized program and also the variables and factors that we have mentioned during our exploratory investigation. Thank you very much.